The Witcher is one of the biggest shows out right now on Netflix. The same show that helped Henry Cavill make his name in Hollywood as one of the hottest actors out there. But now that the actor has exited the show, what's next? Not just that, but is Jaskier immortal? Moreover, what does Joey Beatty have to say about the Jaskier plot twist in Blood Origins? Let's dive deeper into it, starting with the face of the franchise. The show's first season came out back in 2019, with the second season dropping 2 years later on the same platform in December 2021. For many of us, Henry Cavill was the face of the entire franchise, and one of the best actors who could have represented the beloved Geralt of Rivia on the screen. So naturally, when the actor recently posted that he wouldn't be a part of the franchise after The Witcher's third season, many of us out there were devastated. Most fans claimed that the show will not be the same anymore. While the actor didn't give us much of an explanation for his decision, the show's showrunner, Lauren Hissrich, recently talked about how she's looking forward to giving fans more details about the changes that the franchise is going to see in the upcoming months. Cavill went on to his social media in October 2022 and told his fans and followers alike that while he has had some of the best times being able to bring his character of Geralt to life, he's now going to be exiting the role after the upcoming third season of the show. Not just that, but he also told us that the team has already cast his replacement. He said that Liam Hemsworth will be taking the White Wolf's mantle and that he's super excited to see what the actor does with the character. Next up, what did showrunner Lauren Hissrich say about wanting to talk about Henry Cavill's exit? Fan reactions to the actor leaving the franchise have been super mixed up, with many of them wanting to see the actor continue to play the role of Geralt. At the same time, others have been wanting more detailed reasoning as to why the actor suddenly has decided to leave one of the franchises that have meant the absolute world to him. Fortunately though, we might get a much clearer answer for his exit in the months that are to come. In an interview that the showrunner recently had with NME, Lauren Hissrich talked about how she does want to talk about the reasons behind the actor leaving the show. The showrunner continued talking about how she still had a lot to say about the situation. Still, since there were a lot of complications in between, they would never be able to talk about specific details about why he left. Well, at least not all of the reasons, but she did confirm that the decision was mutual and that they still have a mutually respectful relationship. She then urged fans to wait just about a few months so they could officially talk about the entire situation. Lastly, when will the third season of The Witcher drop on Netflix? As far as more details for the upcoming season go, the team still keeps most of it a secret, though all of us will inevitably see more of the epic romance between Geralt and Yennefer, along with how much Geralt will struggle as he tries his best to keep Ciri safe as she learns more about the power she has. Not just that, but we're also going to see much more of Jaskier, the fan-favorite character, this upcoming season, with the showrunner hinting that the character has a much more critical role. According to reports by People magazine, the third season of the show is going to hit the streaming platform sometime super early in the summer of 2023. The Witcher star Joey Beatty weighs in on Jaskier's immortality. Coming up is a surprising criticism. One of the biggest criticisms people had from the first season of Netflix's The Witcher was surprisingly about Jaskier. The bard is immune to aging, even though the entire series has been through decades at a time. One of the most famous theories that more or less tries to make sense of what most viewers think is just an oversight is that the character may not be a simple human and that he may be immortal. In a recent interview with Digital Spy, the fan-favorite character's actor, Joey Beatty, opened up about whether the character was genuinely immortal and debunked one of the most prominent fan theories out there. When further explaining it, he said to that very question, he always likes to quote something from the original book as one of the characters is talking about Jaskier, saying that his character is almost 40 years old, but at the same time, he doesn't look a day older than 30. Alongside that, his character still thinks he's 20 and ends up acting like he's just 10 years old. He then compared himself to his character, saying that his pictures from a decade ago still look like how he does these days, and that he hasn't changed much, saying that he has the face of a child. While he didn't give a detailed reply to the question about Jaskier's immortality, he did hint at it, as he said that he couldn't comment on that. But all of us know, don't we? Additionally, The Witcher's confusing timelines. The first season of Netflix's The Witcher covered a long time span of about 70 years of the plot, while it explored 3 different timelines that revolved around the beloved beloved main character, Geralt of Rivia, along with Ciri and Yennefer of Vengerberg. While there are super obvious reasons why characters such as Yennefer and Geralt keep their youth and live much longer, such as their magical powers and mutations, Jaskier is still just another simple human. Not just that, but we're also going to see much more of Jaskier, the fan-favorite character. While he didn't give a detailed reply to the question about Jaskier's immortality, this ultimately led to a lot of confusion among fans of the show, with most thinking that it was just another thing they looked over and ignored. But Lauren S. Hissrich, the show's showrunner, has defended her choice to cover 3 timelines at the same time before as well. She said that she thought that the decision wouldn't be as controversial as it turned out to be, but in terms of storytelling, it's always going to be a thing that she stands behind with her head held high. The showrunner then went on to talk about how that was the only possible way that the team could have covered the 3 stories of all the main protagonists the show had to offer. But now that they're done telling their previous stories, the show will finally merge into a single timeline. But the showrunner did also hint at there still being some flashbacks and flash-forwards if the story called for it. Similarly, from the Witcher novels to Netflix. While season 1 of the show mainly focused on adapting the books The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny by Andrzej Sapkowski, later translated into English by Danusia Stock, the book also had a bunch of huge skips in time over really long periods. However, the main books from the franchise's saga, especially those that started from Blood of Elves, are much more straightforward, even though it takes a lot of detours and introduces a bunch of side characters throughout the books. Netflix's The Witcher's 3rd season is going to try and adapt the book Time of Contempt, and the book was translated by David French this time, in which we're going to see Yennefer continue to train Ciri in magic. The synopsis for the 3rd season also hints at the possibility of the two going over to Aretuza, where the pair is probably going to go up against a lot of corruption in terms of politics and magic. The Witcher star explains the bizarre Jaskier twist in the Blood Origin prequel. Let's talk about Joey Batey opening up about the twist. The star from the new Witcher spin-off series called The Witcher Blood Origin, Joey Batey, has recently talked about the super weird plot twist revolving around one of our favorite characters from the franchise, Jaskier. As the spin-off starts, we get to see 2 versions of the character, though later we find out that one of them is the shape-shifting Shanachi, a character that's played by Minnie Driver, as she takes the form of Jaskier. In a recent interview where the star spoke exclusively to Digital Spy, he talked about the super weird situation of the actress playing Batey's character, and much more. He talked about how insanely bizarre the whole thing was for him because for some reason, the person who was standing in for him was quite shorter than him, about 4 to 5 inches shorter. Because of this, the actor had to do a weird crouch to always make it seem like the two were the same height, but overall it was actually super fun. In contrast, the actor is known for pulling off some super fun ad-libs in the show and, at times, even dancing around some of the lines. This time, the problem was that he was on the receiving end of the same kind of acting for the very first time. Finally, still a fun project for Batey. Lenny Henry, the actor's co-star who plays the Chief Druid Balor, then started to joke about how the actor's ad-libbing can be one of the most annoying things on set, to which Batey replied jokingly that he wanted to apologize to every single talented person that he's ever had the chance to work with. He continued joking about how he was a complete nightmare to work with and apologized to everyone. Batey then talked about how his co-star was actually playing Minnie Driver at that time and that he was aware of that very thing from the start. But despite that, both of them agreed that the entire show was super fun to work on and that they had a lot of fun doing it. Not just that, but the actor recently mentioned how a fan theory about his character being immortal was completely false. Batey started by saying that while off the record, he's immortal, but then turned 180 degrees and said no. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on the show? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.